Welcome back to another session of Advanced R. In this session, I am going to discuss about a new topic which is based on the discussion of neat R. Actually, when you are producing something, then it's very important to present it in an attractive way, and the neat R package exactly do this thing. You can present something in the form of a PDF or in the form of an HTML document. So actually when you are using neat R, then it helps you to manage your output in the form of either PDF or HTML in such a way. In this module, I am going to discuss about the use of neat R with the help of LaTeX, with the help of Markdown and some things like that, and we will start the discussion with some basic ideas of neat R. So let's see what is there in this module. So in this module we are going to learn about neat R introduction, neat R with LaTeX and neat R with Markdown. So the primary objective of us is producing output in an effective way of any analysis. This is indeed very important for any kinds of analysis, and the output of an analysis can be written, as you all know, the output can be written in the form of report, or it can be put in some websites, or it can be like the form of some slideshows. And when we are wanting these kinds of output, then neat R will help us in this regard. As you might have known that neat R package is written by Z. Now neat R was created as a replacement for Swift for the creation of PDF, and it might give you HTML documents as well, but it is done through Markdown. The combination of neat R and RStudio is indeed very powerful, and with the help of these two we can even write any book. And as you can see here, you can also insert and run R code and graphics here. So the question is how to install LaTeX program. By now you might have known what is LaTeX and how to install it, but let's have some discussion regarding this. So the question is, what is LaTeX? Markup language based on the text typesetting system which was created by Donald Knuth. This is basically what LaTeX is, and it is mainly used for writing scientific papers and books. So as you may know that before using LaTeX, it should be installed in your system. Now the thing is, each operating system has different download locations. So the question is how to save LaTeX. LaTeX documents have .tex extension, and it's always recommended to use RStudio because it is a suitable text editor for LaTeX. Now here we have some features of LaTeX. As you can see, LaTeX is mainly used for typesetting journal articles, technical reports, books and slides presentation. Large documents contain sectioning, cross-reference tables and figures. You all know that you might have come across all these things whenever you use LaTeX. You can also make some typesetting of complex mathematical formulae with the help of LaTeX, and in this regard LaTeX is very useful nowadays. Now here are some advantages of LaTeX. Advanced typesetting of mathematics with AMS LaTeX, automatic generation of bibliographies and indexes. It has multilingual typesetting, so you can always use a number of languages here. It has inclusion of artwork and process of spot color. It can use PostScript or Metafont. Now here we are giving you, as you can see, there are some rules of LaTeX. The first line in a LaTeX file defines the type of document. It might be an article, it might be a book, and it might be anything of this genre. And this is done through these commands like the \, then document class, then within the curly braces you need to write down, whether it is an article or a book or something like that. Now, the required package is defined by \usePackage command, and then within this curly braces you need to input the name of the package. You can make index using makeIndex command. Now, in order to include images, you need to use graphics package through the usePackage command. You can also specify the type of image file by typing this here. Also, in the graphics command, LaTeX first looks for files .png and then looks for files .jpg. Also, you can use some packages which can transform EPS to PDF. Also, here you have some more rules. You can declare the title, author and date by typing \title, it might be \author, \date. With such commands, you can always include the name of the author, the title name and the dates and all these kinds of things. So, basically these are some mechanical things which one needs to have when he want to write down something using LaTeX. Now, remember, the document starts with begin document and it ends with end document as it had been given here. So, here we are starting with simple example. Here the example is shown here, and as you can see, as we have told earlier, that it starts with document class, and since it's an article, so we are specifying article within the curly braces, and it ends with end document over here. The next thing is, if you want to do anything which should not be executed, then you should use this percentage sign. So, if you have this percentage sign, then LaTeX is not going to execute the line. And here we are wanting to use the package this. So, we are using the usePackage command, and then we are inputting the name of graphics package here, and we are giving title, we are giving author name, we are giving dates and all the things which we have discussed previous over here. So, these are basically some of the things which are needed, some of the basic things which are needed to write down text article. Next one is, you can split the content into sections using \section, and then within the curly braces you need to input the section name. Until another section is called, all the content following this command will be part of that section. As you can guess, as you can understand this, there is certainly a lot more to know about LaTeX. This would definitely provide some basic idea of a start for using LaTeX with .NET-R. So, we are just telling some of the basic things which are needed to be learned for the package .NET-R. Now, here comes the idea of using .NET-R with LaTeX. You can write a LaTeX document with R code. Usually, the text is written using normal LaTeX conventions, and the R code is inserted by typing special commands. So, this is what by which all R codes can be written. Now, these documents are saved as RNW files. Now, during the knitting process, an RNW file is converted to a text file, which is then compiled to a PDF file, because you might have known that in case of LaTeX, we can always have PDF file through a text file. So, basically what RNW file does is, will be converted to a text file, and then it will generate a PDF, it will compile a PDF. Now, if you use console, this is done by calling the knit function, passing the .rnw file as the first argument. In case of RStudio, this is done by clicking the compile PDF. You will see a compile something which you can see the compile function there, and if you click them, then it will start compiling the PDF. Now, there are chunks are there at the workforce of .NET-R, and the really important part of .NET-R. Some common .NET-R chunk options are listed in the next slide. As you can see it from here, these are some common chunk options. like eval, echo, tidy, results and all this. Also you might have these chunk options as you can see it from here. Now here are some of the neater functions. The neat function is the main function, it is a main function in this package, and neat input documents and write the output. And here are some other functions like purl, spin, stitch and all the things which had been given here. Now displaying images is not a difficult work with neater. So you can always display images through this and run a command that generates a plot, inserts the image immediately following that line of code. You just need to give some codes and then if you run it, you will be having a plot right away. Now here comes the idea of Markdown. While LaTeX is a great tool for composing a book or an article, another tool is Markdown, as I have told you earlier. Markdown is basically used for websites and presentations. It is simplified version of HTML which is very often used. Now here are some discussions based on LaTeX versus Markdown. Here LaTeX produces presentations using Beamer, but what does Markdown do? Markdown slides allow for more interactivity. It seems quite easy to structure presentation in Markdown than in LaTeX. So here are some rules of Markdown. Line breaks are created by leaving blank line between blocks and text. Italics can be generated by putting an underscore on both sides of a word. Bold is generated by putting 2 underscores on each side. Lists are created by putting each element on its own line starting with star. So these are basically some of the rules of Markdown we memorize. Here comes the next one. Text is made a header by starting a line with a pound symbol. The number of pounds, so as you may know, the number of pounds will indicate the header level. Links are created by putting the text to be displayed in square brackets and the linked URL in parentheses. So here is the next one. Inserting images is also done with square brackets and parentheses and preceded by an exclamation mark. So here is something new. RStudio provides a reference guide to Markdown accessed by clicking the MD button in the toolbar. So here comes some of the ideas of using neater and Markdown. Writing Markdown documents is similar to that for LaTeX documents. Normal text is written by the general commands and R-codes are put in chunks. You may have you have already come across some kinds of these before. A file that contains both Markdown and R-code is saved as an RMW file. Then the file is knitted to a Markdown file, that is .md Markdown, which is compiled to an HTML file, because as you know that Markdown is meant for compiling HTML file only, unlike the previous one. In case of LaTeX, we have used it for building PDFs. In the console, all the operations are done with the knit function, and in RStudio by clicking the knit HTML button. There is a button, so as you might have come across that there is a button which is knit HTML. Just click it and you are going to have the things which you want to have. Here we are having a simple example of Markdown with neater. Just have a look at this. Here we have specified title, author, date, output and everything like that. We want to have the summaries, we want to plot them and then we want to knit them. So here is all about the codes. So what we can conclude from these things? Writing documents in different style and slideshow presentation have never been so easier until neater was discovered. As you can as you can see that actually it provides us a lot more options to give presentation which is visually very effective. So we need to give thanks to the one who have made this package, Neater package. It allows integration of R code with results including images, either LaTeX or Markdown text. RStudio IDE is a wonderful text editor. You can write a book using Neater from within RStudio without using Microsoft Word. We have come across this topic before as well. So it's indeed very useful if you want to write down a book both with R codes and LaTeX, then you can also compile these two with the help of Neater. So there are a lot of options that the Neater package is giving us. So to explore all these kinds of things, there are many things which are left here, which I am not going to discuss here. So if you have interest, then you can also study all these things which are related to this topic. So as you can see from this module, we come to know how you can present an output effectively with the help of Neater. Here we had some introductory discussion based on Neater, then we had some discussions of Neater with LaTeX, then we come to know how we can use Neater with Markdown and so on. We have come across some examples which actually shows how to present the outputs in the form of PDFs, in the form of some HTML documents and many more. So there can be many things which can be discussed in this regard, but we are stopping here, and in the meantime do concentrate on whatever we have discussed here, so that you can have some basic ideas regarding what actually the Neater does.